Okay, in this video I'm going to show you how to clean up an Excel spreadsheet that's been downloaded from the Grade Center in Blackboard. So one of the things that happens when it downloads the Grade Center, it takes the headings of each column and it adds this extra setup, it lets you know the points and an extra code that goes along with it. So if I click on one of my headings here, I can go up in the formula bar and I can actually delete that extra text that I do not want in there as part of my heading. Okay, now at this point I've already gone in and I've eliminated the extra headings on each one of these already. Okay, but what I want to do is I want to take that first row of titles and I want it to wrap the text. If you're using an older version of Excel, you might need to go to the format column or format menu and then tell it to wrap the text. Okay, and I can see that maybe this column is too narrow. I can make that a little bit wider by just coming up on the headings between the letters and double click on the line to do an auto fit if I want to do that, or I can click and drag it to move it. Okay, now in this one I want to actually analyze the grades for this particular, in this case was a student learning outcome. So what I want to do is build an equation for an average here. And when I start writing, equals average, when I open the parenthesis, I can actually select the grades that I want to average and then close the parentheses up and hit enter. Now if I wanted to, I could have just typed in equals average parentheses F2 colon I2, okay, and then close the parentheses. Alright, now I can go back up on that equation and grab the fill handle. The fill handle is the little dot in the bottom right hand corner, and I can grab that and drag it down. Okay, and that will calculate the average for each one of these. So I'm going to do the same thing for my columns as well. So I'm going to say equals average okay, and then I'm going to copy that one across. Okay, now for me to actually be able to figure out a percentage for this, to find out how many students actually pass this particular student learning outcome, I want to get a count of my number of students. So to write an equation for a count, I'm going to say equals count, and this is alphanumeric. I'm checking text. So I'm going to open the parentheses and I'm going to select the area where the names of all my students are. So it's going to count how many students I have. So in this case I have 3. Now I'm going to come over here and I'm going to write a count that will actually count how many students achieved a 60 or above. So this is going to actually be an equation for a count if. So I'm going to say equals count if, and as soon as I open parentheses, it's going to give me a little bit of help. It's asking me for the range. So I'm going to select the range of the averages for each row of each student, of the 3 students here. Actually, I want to put a comma in there. Now, I want to go in and figure out all the students that had a 60 or above. So I need to put double quotes around this. So I'm going to do greater than and equal to 60 and then close the double quotes and then close the parentheses. So it's going to count how many students achieved a 60 or above. Now, just so I can check that equation and make sure it's working, I'm going to change one of these grades to a 59, and it automatically does not count that particular student's grade. Okay, so I'm just going to undo to bring it back. Alright, now what I want to do is figure out the percentage between those two. So obviously it's 100% of 3 students achieved that grade. So what I'm going to do is change this back to 59 for a second. And what I want to do is say equals the total number of students that passed and divide that by the total number of students in the class to figure out my percentage. So if only 2 students out of the 3, 66% actually achieved a passing grade on this. So I'm just going to use the percentage option here. If you go to format number in one of the older version, you can format it with a percentage if you want to. Now if I change this student back to do a calculation, it's going to change it to 100% because 3 of the students achieved a 60 or above. Okay, so this is how you can go in and do the analytics on whether a student completed the student learning outcome and clean up your Grade Center download that you've downloaded to Excel.